What's going on, fellow coding rabbits, and welcome to another episode of Live Coding with Rabbitwerks JavaScript. My name is Sean, and it's a Thursday evening, as always, but let's get into it. So, Lucas in the chat is joining us from Brazil. Excuse me, from Brazil. Thank you for tuning into the stream. And he said he was working on a professional project with vue.js, and he has a lot of doubt. So hopefully, maybe we can help alleviate some of that doubt. Well, as far as like the whole auth, all of that functionality and all that stuff, that's pretty much good to go. We're going to do a verify function tonight. But as far as like logging in and signing up, all of that is fully authenticated, all authorizated, all that good stuff on the back end and stuff. And it seems to work pretty well. So, hopefully we can, help give you some confidence in this, because Vue's awesome. I mean, authentication, regardless of the front end framework that you're going to be using, essentially it's all that really takes place on the back end. The front end is just like kind of a portal to the back end, I guess, if you will. But like, so Lucas says he's using Vue.auth, no libraries externally, and he's just using just fetch to do it. So do you know what's running on the back end? Or what the back end looks like? Okay, so while he is responding, let me see. I can close this out. I'm gonna close these things out. All right, so I have the app spun up, both the front and the back end. So let me pull up Mozilla. We'll head to there now. So, not that. I don't want to go to Lowe's. Come on now. Okay, so this is the app that we have so far. Obviously, we need to make some corrections to the styling. That's the first thing on our to-do list at the moment. And so let's get to that. So right in here is actually, I'm going to minimize that so everyone can see it. Okay, so right now what we have essentially is screwed up navbar because we need to set some settings or some CSS, some CSS to our new stuff now that we have it essentially wrapped in a wrapper or whatever, logged out, and then the logged in wrapper. So basically what we need to do is pretty much just turn this wrapper into a flexbox item. So we'll start with the logged out because that's what's being displayed right now because we have a login and register button. So if I just add fxbx to it, it should give it a flexbox class, and boom, there we go, fixed. Cool. Can't believe I just didn't do that last stream. Okay, whatever, not a big deal. So we need to do that on this one as well. So we have two different wrappers here. Again, one that gets displayed if we're logged out, and one that gets displayed if we're logged in. So, oh crap. Let's see. What's going on with this? Play for me, please. Okay, so this is the welcome page. Obviously, there's nothing fancy going on here. Actually, what I think we could probably do, instead of just having this welcome page or whatever, is just do a redirect to the login page. So, I mean, we could do some really generic stuff where we just have welcome, like, centered across. Welcome to FullStack Authentication from scratch kind of thing. So, whatever. Actually, let's do that really quick. So, we can just set up a redirect in the Vuex router. And this is what we want to redirect to. So, I believe instead of component and name, we just need to add in redirect. Let me just double check the docs really quick. I can't remember off the top of my head because that's just the way it goes. View router redirect. If I can spell. Redirect and alias. Okay. Routes, path, redirect. Okay, perfect. So we don't need the name, we don't need the component attributes of this, we just need to add in a redirect, just like that. And that's going to be a property, and we just pass in a string of the, essentially the path that we want to redirect to. So we'll redirect to login. Right, so if we go back to our app and we hit refresh, and if we just delete login here and hit enter, it's going to redirect us back to login. So that's what we're going to do there. I need to understand the best practices for made the auth to make a secure system. Okay, so we've gone through a couple of best practices in this series. We can run through it really quick. I think that's all we need. I mean, we're gonna add a like our thing that says like hello or whatever, but I think we'll answer Lucas's question first. So let's open this full screen. We're gonna go back. We can go to our backend code, our server here. So there's a couple of things that you want to keep in mind that you want to for sure do, and I mean, above anything is essentially you want to, are you using JSON Web Tokens, or how are you doing, like, how are you passing back to the front end? So essentially the first thing, or the most important thing that we got to make sure that we're doing when we're working with like secure or sensitive information is we have to hash passwords. Like that's the number one thing that we got to do. We can't not hash passwords. Hashing a password essentially takes a clear text password and jarbles it up, runs it through an algorithm a number of times depending on how many times you have the salt round set to, and you get like a crazy string that essentially represents the clear text password when unhashed. And the way that a hash works is that you have a secret and all that good stuff. Okay, so he's using JSON Web Tokens. So that's what we're using here. So for instance, if we look at let's look at our register code here. So when we make a request or a post request to our register route, first of all, we're just validating the information or the body or whatever, making sure that it matches the correct schema that we are accepting. We're checking the database to make sure excuse me, checking the database to see if that user exists, and if it does, we'll throw it back saying you can't register this username, it already exists, blah blah blah. And if not, we're going to move on to the next thing where we'll register the user. So what we want to do in that case is this is where we're going to hash passwords. So you want to make sure I'm using bcrypt in this, and I have a salt round set to 10, and that returns a hashed password essentially, so we don't have clear text anymore, and then we store that inside of the database right here. And JSON Web Tokens, as far as that, really, I guess, I mean, we can show this, the secret, the token secret needs to be like just really good essentially, because that's the only thing that's going to protect anybody from getting inside and decoding that JSON Web Token, which for right now we're not really sending any sensitive information back as far as like other than the first name, any personal identifying information, no password or anything like that. The only time, what we were mentioning on last stream, the only time we're going to be doing that is if we have like an edit or update profile information, then we'll make a request to the database at that point to pull back information that might be sensitive, so such as like a hashed password, last name, email address, kind of stuff like that. But yeah, so that's super important, and then it's all about validation and whatnot. So let's see, validate the inputs coming in, and then you do stuff with it, and then you validate that stuff. That's not very descriptive, but if we go back to the client, I can show you the register view. So if we go down to the code for this, you can see, so this is the attempt registration essentially code. So we're validating to make sure that all the input fields are full. We're checking to make sure each email and the email confirm matches. We're checking to see that the pass and pass confirm matches. Then we're running it through the same schema that we have on the back end that in the front end, so that way we have like kind of like we're covering our bases twice at this point. So if it doesn't even pass this register schema, then it won't even get to the back end. It'll throw it back as far as the front end. So that's what I do in that case. And then so we just have for login, it's just a simpler version, it's just a schema, and it's just making sure it validates it, making sure that everything is full. So that's pretty much what I'm doing on this as far as like that's concerned. Yeah, so that's exactly what I'm doing. So so when we register or when we log in, we come down here, this .store.dispatch, right? So attempt login action. So this is sending our validated credentials from the back end that we get back from the back end after our, you know, all that stuff happens for the login. And then if we look at the store, you can see right here we have attempt login. Well, wait a second. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. The fetch requests run inside of Vuex, inside of the actions. Yeah. So when we run this, when we dispatch this action, it gets our information or whatever. So let me see. I was confused there for a second. This valid credentials isn't coming back from the backend. It's not getting there yet. This is just running through the schema and returning either valid credentials or an error saying that's not valid. Then that sends to the store, and then immediately we call a fetch request against our backend and send what we need in there. So we're using cookies or whatever, so we have to use credentials include, and the payload gets sent in the body, and then we result.json it, and then we push that through to a mutation called, we push the result back from the database, so it'll be all of our user information back to the database, back from the database via the backend, and then we run that through a commit, and the commit will push it to the store right here, and this is essentially our global user information. Update store user logged in muta, and then you can see right here, so we just have so if we get payload.message, we want to return payload.message means that there was an error and something went wrong, so we don't want to push anything to the state and break anything. But if that's not the case, if we don't have payload.message, we're going to destructure user out of payload and then set state.user to user, and then state.isLoggedIn equals true. So this case, we're only getting back the username, the user ID, username, and the user class, and I think we actually changed it to include the first name as well. We're not getting back last name, we're not getting back email, we don't even have a slot for password right now because we're not doing anything like update information kind of stuff. But yeah, so that's essentially what we're doing. So, yeah, let me run to the, I gotta run to the restroom really quick, I'm sorry. And we'll go get started on this. We can run through a demonstration in just a second here, so 1 second. Okay, cool. So let's run through this really quick on the app side and just kind of demonstrate it. We can register a new user and go through the whole process. So Mozilla, let's see, we'll just full screen it for now. I want to open up the dev tools. Apparently that's as big as they go. Alright, cool. Alright, so let's see if we have a console here. We can take a look and kind of see what's going on. I don't have the Vue Dev Tools installed on Mozilla on this rig at the moment, but it's all good. Okay, so let's register a new user. We'll go to register here and it says Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and Happy friggin' holidays, bro. I'm gonna actually close that for now. So we'll register. We'll say Lucas wants to register his name, last name. We'll do Leandro. I don't know if that's your last name, but who cares, I guess. Lucas the man. Email is test@test.net. Copy that over. Password will be ASD123. AST123. Okay, cool. Register. I don't want to save that. Oh, what broke? Not access user before initialization. So it's not running? It should be running. Let's see. Cookie not sent. Cookie not sent. Insert one. What the heck? Okay. Let's see. Let's see what's going on here. Cannot access user before initialization. That's coming from the store. Reference cannot access user before initialization from server auth index J line 30 or line 80. Okay, let's see what's going on here. So let's see. Oh, it gave me a to-dos. I like that. Server line 80. Oh. You see what's going on here? So we're passing in this returned property here. It's called added user, but for whatever reason this got set to user, so we need to just correct that. So added user. Now it should work. Username already exists. Apparently it registered it still. Okay, so we're registered. Let's log in. So it's Lucas bug on YouTube, but I back. Lucas the man. ASD123. Log in. Boom. There it is. Cool. How much did you miss? Did you get to see the run through of like the code at least before like the bathroom break? So I registered a new user for, what's the term for when you're like, oh, as a surrogate of you. So we got Lucas View username Lucas Demand, and your ID is that. So this ID gets generated from Mongo. What kind of database are you using? Are you using a SQL database or a NoSQL, or are you using Mongo, just like flat out? Oh, so we gotta fix that. There's a bug there. So when we log out, we're not actually changing it in Vuex to reflect that. So Let's make sure we do that. Okay, so for now we'll close out the server, go back to the client. Let's get this navbar finished. There is the logout button, navbar logout. Oh yeah, that's one of our to-dos. Okay. Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, you can totally. This whole project has been live streamed from start to finish. No code has been done off stream, so you're more than welcome to go back and check it out. And both front and back end code bases are on GitHub publicly, and the branches kind of go along. Well, obviously they go along with the videos, so check it out, and it probably will give you, you know, pretty good starting point at least. I mean, there's always, we're not really doing any testing. We don't really do any testing because I'm not really, I don't know how to do testing, write testing or tests yet. I guess I should probably get on that, but anyways. Okay, so let's see. What do we got here? So we got to fix this, navigate view. What we want to do is connection closed. Okay, that's fine. What we need to do is push. We need to write a vuex action mutation, because what we want to do is, here, let's open this up. Can I open more than one file, please? Thank you. Okay. So what we want to do is right here, when we have, whoops, not this component, the logout component. When we click this or run this navigate view, obviously it's going to, well, we can actually change the name of that since this is its own component. I'm going to do that. Log out. Change that here so it's more descriptive. Lout out. Apparently I don't want to spell properly tonight. Okay, so let's write that action really quick. So we'll have underneath here, we'll do log out action, pass in the context object with, or destructure commit out of the context object there, and then we don't really actually even need a payload because whenever this runs, it's just going to set it to false. So we won't have a payload in there. We'll just do commit dot log out muta, and that's just going to run. That. Oh, that's not how it's done. Oh, thinking wrong terms. Okay, so we pass in the string of the mutation that we want to run. So we'll just do log out underscore muta, just like that. And we don't need to pass in a payload since we're just running this once. So come up to the mutations, we'll write that. So we'll just do log out, just like that. And it's going to get the state object. We don't have a payload, so we don't have to worry about that. We'll just do state.u is logged in equals false. Cool, just like that. So now if we come back in here, after we push the, or before we push the router, we'll say this dot $store dot dispatch this path. And then we'll pass in the name of the string that we want to dispatch, which is log, geez Louise, log out action. Alright, cool. So if we run this now, we should log out. When we log out. Yeah, let's check it out. Alright, let's log in. So we'll do Lucas demand. ASD123, login, All right, cool. So we're in there. Don't save, and we'll click log out. Didn't do anything. Crap. Let's see. Do that again. Let's take a look at our view state and see what's going on here. We can't do it in here because I don't have it installed on Mozilla Firefox yet. So what I have to do is open a new window. Hey, Chrome. Okay. Dev tools. There we go. Let's go to view. Log in. Okay, so let's take a look at Vuex and see where we're at. So at this point, our state is logged in true. We have our user object or whatever. And so if we click log out, okay, so it's not running. Maybe we have a typo somewhere. Unknown. Oh yeah. You know what we did? I know what we did. Forgot the friggin' the muta thing that I do. Alright, so now let's try and do this again. So alright, cool. Got that. You're authorized to view this route. Congrats. Now and okay, cool. We got it. Excellent. Let's fix that display on that really quick for the logged in buttons. We can close that. Actually, we can keep this open. Okay, cool. And inside of here, we'll fix the display in those buttons, or yeah, buttons. Main, set this to flexbox, fx, bx. If I'm going fast, then I do apologize. I know this is supposed to be kind of like a code along thing for people following along in the VODs and whatnot, so. Okay, let's just check one more time that it's displaying properly. Cool, we got it. Dashboard, which was where we're at, and just a log out there, so. Alright, so we got these two things finished. Excellent. Next thing we want to do is let's head back to the backend and write our verify. Our verify code. So it's inside of our index.js, and we're going to be working on this information right here. So, let's see, I gotta get the documentation open. Node.js, node bcrypt.js. Okay, so before last stream, we had up until that point been using bcrypt.js, but they had a big update and it doesn't work now properly without a bunch of other crap that you have to do. So we decided to switch to just bcrypt itself, which works perfectly fine. So what we're looking for is the verify. We passed it. And compare. Compare is what we want to do. So, let's see. Okay, so what we'll do to check password, is this it? Usage, async, salt, hash, compare. Okay. Check a password, load a hash from your password DB. So this is what we're gonna use to get, or we're gonna do it asynchronously to get a promise returned to us. So we'll do bcrypt.compare. We pass in the plain text password and the hash from our database. So let's see. What we want to do, since we want to res.json this if okay, yeah, so we'll do it inside of this if statement, because if we do have a user in the request, then we don't have to verify it because it's already been verified if it's coming from the front end. So we'll just do that for there, and then we'll have to write our else statement. So okay, so what we want to do is we're going to say, wait. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm kind of losing my train of thought a little bit. Oh man, I'm confused now. Holy crap. What is coming from that? Let's see here. Get because the cookie gets passed. Wait a second. I think I have an issue here. What the heck? Wait a second. I think that's already done. I think I'm confusing myself here. Because this is coming from the cookie. Because that's getting included. Rec.user. He exists. Else. Oh, yeah, okay. Let me see here. Rec.user cookie exists. So if there is a cookie, just respond with the information in that cookie as the user object. Okay. Okay, so we don't have to do the compare. Because we're doing that here. I'm way confused. Sorry. So that should actually be good. So what we should probably do at this point is finish up the navbar, because I want to add in like a name here. So probably instead of, well, so if we log in, we'll do rabbit. We want to update this thing to say our name, and then have like it say welcome first name or whatever. Oh, hold on 1 second. 1 second. Okay, sorry. So yeah, let's do that, and we'll go from there. So I can actually make this a little bit smaller. It doesn't need that obnoxiously large. Okay, so if we look here, these could actually be slots passed into it, but I think this is fine. We're not going to get too crazy with things, but if we look here, we have the Navbar Brand, which is this thing right here, and then these two guys, dashboard and logout or whatever. So what I think we'll do is what we should probably do is switch this out to be like a drop-down menu, but I think that's going to be a whole session. But for now, we'll just say like in the brand or whatever. Let's take a look at the brand and see what it says. I have an H1 here, and then after that, we could just put like a paragraph, or yeah, let's do a p tag and say test. 1, 2, 3. See what that gives us. Test 1, 2, 3. It's just too big. So it would be like so we'll set a prop for name. Open that up, and we'll do type. It's going to be a string. default would be, we'll just set it to friend, or I'll just say myself actually, because it's not a friend, it's a myself thing, because if we don't have a name on there, it's gonna pass that back as like just a default value or whatever. So we'll do that, and we can say, okay, that's F1. Give the H1 a little bit of padding actually on the left, or some margin, whatever you want to say. Oh, it's getting too cold in here. Have it too open, it gets too warm. Alright, so let's open up the style thing. We don't need the lang, but we want to make sure that it's scoped to this component. We'll just say H1, we'll give it some margin right. Let's say 1 rem. Okay, so it pushes it out a little bit. Cool. Okay, so actually, you know what? I think what would look better instead of doing that, get rid of that whole style thing, is we can do space between. So that'll give us, this class gives us the flexbox attribute, or justify content attribute of space between. And for the p tag, I want to make sure that we give, where's this margin coming from? Oh, I wonder if that's in the main CSS. I can't remember. Can't remember. I give follow to you on GitHub. Oh, that message was, I want that to show. Cool, thanks, dude. Yeah, check it out. Yeah, and follow along with the thing. Sorry if I missed your message. It apparently got flagged for being potentially inappropriate. Good old YouTube. What are we doing? Okay, let's, I want to look at my CSS really quick just to make sure I know what's going on here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? View header, view. Okay, so that, where's that padding coming from? Is it coming from this? No, it's not. View header, padding bottom, margin bottom. What about, let's just look. How about that? How about that? Is that a good idea? No, not that. Inspect. Adding left. Okay, so that's on the navbar outer. Okay. That works. So yeah, we'll just add a little bit of padding on that, I guess. So, or yeah. So we'll open up the style block one more time. Just make sure it's scoped. And we'll do the p tag. Margin right, and we'll do 1 rem. Just like that. Push it over. And let's just make sure it says welcome. Welcome. So if we have it full screen, it says welcome myself. We haven't passed that prop in yet, so let's see. Actually, let's make sure we have that prop in our store. Just to what? Where's that coming from? View router. Okay, so back in the code, we need to pass this prop in, and it's user, and let's make sure we have that in the state, user object. Need to log in first, so rabbit. Okay, first name, we need to pass that in. So user.firstname is what we're going to pass in as a prop. Right here. User.firstname for the prop we're passing in off of our user object. And now we should have that actually populated in our thing. Gone. Okay, cool. But what we should probably do is capitalize it. Do we have that a filter written? No? Okay, so let's see. I guess we could just write it in here, but I think we should have a global filters thing just for the heck of it, in case we need to write any more. Filters.js. Okay. Import. Import view from view. And we'll say view.filter is going to be capitalized for the name of it, and then it's going to take a value. Oh, no. What is it? It's options object. Alright, so inside of here, we'll take the let's double check. Let's just take a look at the view docs because I can't remember right now. View filter capitalize. Right here. Okay, function takes the value in, so that's ES5. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Value, arrow function to that. And we'll do value dot const first letter. I guess we could do it like this, equals value. Oh wait, no, that's not right. Jeez. You can tell I've had a long day. Alright, right here. Value dot toString, return value at char0 plus dot to uppercase plus value slice 1. Okay, yeah, makes sense. If no value, return value equals value dot toString, then we'll say return value dot char at 0 plus dot to uppercase plus value dot slice 1. Oops, not splice. slice 1. Okay, so that should give us what we need. Let's check. Is that right? R at 0 plus. Okay, that's accurate. Cool. So we just need to make sure we include this filters into our main.js. So say import filters from /filters, just like that. Cool. And if we go back to our brand, now we should be able to use this in here just with the pipe character, and then we'll say capitalize, just like that. Now we should have that capitalized now in our UI. If we go back, there we go. It's capitalized. Cool beans. So I think for now what we can just do is we really don't have any concept for like a dashboard or anything like that at this point. And you see Jay in his thing, his series or whatever that this is based off of, he basically just makes like an API to save notes to a database. So we could probably do that. We'll probably do that next stream at this point because we're already at about the hour mark. I'm trying to keep these shorter. So I think what we want to do for sure is we'll just do I want to make sure we do mobile stuff, so I'll get this like mobile viewable and all that stuff, mobile ready, because I know that we don't really get that far in apps, but I think that will be important. So let's get that done. Well, we will work on that at some point. We want to get like some sort of API built out so we can try and do like something like that notes thing, or maybe save like images to database, like favorite images, and just base 64 it and save that in the database. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It'll be something like that. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comment section below on what we should do in our dashboard or what we should manage in our dashboard. That would be cool. We can kind of go off of that. Just something basic, something simple. We'll do the mobile views and styling and all that stuff. And then I think what we should also do is try and get that edit information feature, like we've been kind of talking about. Like if we want to update our user information, we can do that. I think that would be a good idea. And then deployment, obviously. So I think next stream will probably be at the point where we're going to do deployment of both the front and the back end, just to get something live and we can access it from the internet. I don't think we're missing anything too crucial at this point to be able to do that. So it'll be cool to get that done. And then maybe just do like I think what we'll do at that point is I'm gonna get a drop down menu coded out or whatever, a prototype of it, because I'm not really used to doing drop down menus these days manually. So I think I'll do that over the week. We can come back to that. Yeah. We can drop down setup for that and what I said before that. So anyways, I think I need to go to bed, or at least just chill. I'm exhausted. It's been a long day. We got what we wanted to do done, at least for the most part. We didn't really update the dashboard, but there's not really much to update on it at that point. I guess we got everything done without really even needing to do anything too much other than just fix the nav bar. But whatever, you know, that's the way it goes sometimes. So anyways, we'll see if we can get a stream in this weekend. I can't guarantee it because I know that it's holidays and stuff up here, but maybe. We'll see. I think it'd be cool. Anyways, I'm gonna head out. Thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Live Coding with rabbitwerks JavaScript. My name is Sean. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. We'll be doing more of this project and getting into some other projects down the line too. Looking at Vue 3 for sure. I think we're gonna have to do that for sure. and we'll see where it goes. Thanks again, Lucas, for tuning into the stream and hanging out and all that good stuff. I am back on Twitter, apparently, because after the conversation I was having with Matt on HTML All Things podcast, which I will be uploading within the next 2 days or so, next few days, whenever he sends it to me, I'll be uploading that to my channel as well, so you can check out that podcast guest spot. It was all about UX and user experience and all that stuff. So I'll probably be getting back on the Twitter thing, very sparingly, and then possibly Instagram, but who knows? I'm not really thrilled about it, but whatever. I mean, if it reaches more people, then I guess it's something you got to do for what you got to do. Anyways, I'm out. We're going to catch you on the flip side. I'm Sean, rabbitwerks JavaScript. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. We'll catch you soon. Remember to stay awesome and keep coding, and I am signing out.